Hello friends, in today's video we are going to make these beautiful towel toppers. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love them. We're going to make this color together, but of course you can make it in whatever color variations you want. I got the towels from Costco, and of course you can find your kitchen towels wherever you buy your favorite ones and use those. But don't these make just beautiful? Won't they make beautiful gifts? I'm using my boy hook, I9 5.5 millimeter hook. I'm using in the red, big twist yarn in deep red. I'm also using the big twist yarn in the Varsity green, and I'm using Bernat premium yarn in the color white for this particular project. Also, you're going to need to buy some of these metal clasps, and I will link those in the description box below. But we're going to go ahead and make some of these beautiful, beautiful granny square towel toppers. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. I hope you enjoy this process. Have fun, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Come on over and join my Facebook group. The link will be in the description box below. Are you ready to get started? We're going to make 2 of these, okay? Now you can choose what colors you want to do. Maybe you're going to want to do this. It's the same 3 colors, but maybe you're going to want to start with red. It's up to you, and do it in this color combination. I'm going to choose to do my second one in this color combination. Now, friends, this doesn't have to be for Christmas. You can make these any colors you want, and they'll be beautiful. We're going to start with a I9 5.5 millimeter hook. We're going to put a slip knot around the finger, cross over, go under that first loop, pick up that back one, bring it through. That's how I do my slip knot. We are going to chain up 4. Yarn over, bring through the loop on your hook. Yarn over, bring through the loop on your hook. 3 and 4. We have a chain of 4 there. Into that very first chain that you did, you're going to put your hook. And when you do so, we're trying to get into this loop here. So this loop here, grab it with your fingers and your finger and your thumb, and help to hold it down so that you can easily find it to get into it. So I'm going to yarn over, go through that first chain that we did and into the loop on my hook, and there we've made a ring. Chain up 3, yarn over, go through the loop. That's 1, 2, and 3. This will count as our first double crochet. We're going to put a stitch marker into there if you don't know how to find that 3rd chain after. So right here, this loop is on your crochet hook, isn't it? It's the one right before it that we just did. Put your slips or your stitch marker in there if you need to. Okay, I'll show you at the end how you can find it without a stitch marker as well. And then we're going to, into that ring, do 2 more double crochets. So, because this counts as a double crochet, this chain 3. So we're going to yarn over, go into that center, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Always bring this up so that these 3 loops are the same height, okay? Yarn over, go through 2 of those loops, yarn over, and go through the last 2, and that's a double crochet. Let's do one more. Yarn over, into the center, yarn over, pull up a loop, bring it up to the right height, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We've just completed 3 double crochets, or chain 3 and 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then back into that ring. We're going to do 3 double crochets. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, bring up a loop. I'm doing this fairly fast because this isn't a stitch teaching, oops, sorry, I just messed that up. This isn't a stitch teaching video, but I am still trying to give you the steps. If you need to learn how to crochet these stitches, you can go to my crochet tutorial. It's on the crochet playlist, and I'll teach you how to do all these stitches. And another way to do it is just go up in the top right-hand corner of this tutorial, click on the screen, and a gear will come up and you can slow it down, have the option to slow it down. So now we have our 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, we're going to chain 3. This 3 chains right here is our corner. We need to have 4 of those corners. So we're going to do 3 double crochets next, 1 and 2 and 3. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I can move those over a little bit around that circle to make it a little bit easier. We're going to go back in and do 3 more double crochets. 1 and 2 and 3. Let's assess. I've got my 3 double crochets, my 1 corner, 3 double crochets, second corner, 3 double crochets, third corner. I need 1 more corner, so we're going to chain up our 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that third chain that we started with. If I pull that bobby pin out, that stitch marker that I use out, then that's where we're going to go into. If I didn't use a stitch marker and you want to see how to find it, if you take this first chain and you pull it away from that second double crochet there that we have, well, the first one actually, but this is also counted as one, but if you pull it away from that one, you can see that there's a little, the top of that stitch has a little line that goes at an angle. See that bottom line there? That is the top of this double crochet. So you need to take the stitch that's right before it, and that is the third chain that is right there. Now, here's another thing that I do. I don't want to just take this one strand. So I go in there and I get that second strand, just like that. There are actually 3 strands in there. Find the 2, put your hook into there, yarn over, pull it through that third chain, then pull it through the loop on your hook. This is a slip stitch to join. And there we go. We have our first color done. We're going to yarn over, bring it through that loop. Then you're going to cut it off, pull through, and pull down with your fingernail, fasten off. What you're going to do next is you're going to go to the back and you're going to pull on that center strand just like that, and you'll feel it close up. Put this onto your needle, and we're going to hide our ends. I do this after every color. Now, if I'm doing a number of these, say you want to make 6 of these squares in completion, I do 6 of these first parts here, and then I go back and I do the second row on all 6, hide my tails, and then I complete like that. I'm just going around the circle to hide this a bit more, and then going back the other way. So I always do mine in an assembly line. Of course, I didn't for this one because it's a tutorial and I wanted you to see this one as I'm doing this so you can have a visual. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hide this one as well. What I do there is I just follow that chain down. Make sure you don't pull here because look at how that compromises the look. Keep it nice and snug to your work, but don't compromise the stretch of your work, the look of your work. Then I'm going to go into the bottom of those double crochets there. And then make sure you pull that back if you pulled it too tight. Attention to those little details makes a huge difference. Go back. And again, don't pull this one really snug too to pull these strands away from each other. You want it just as perfect as you can get it. And there we go. We have our center piece. Let's go ahead and grab the white. Taking our white, we are going to put a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to take our piece, find any corner, doesn't matter which one. Put your hook in from the front. Make sure that you have the front of your work showing. You can see from the stitches there, that's the back. Okay, this is the front. You want to put your hook in from the front to the back. You're going to yarn over, grab that white, bring it through and through the loop on your hook. So you're bringing it around that green chain and through the loop on your hook. And that's a slip stitch to join. We are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Counts as our first double crochet. I'm going to carry this just for the first 2 double crochets. I'm going to yarn over, go in, and do it again. Oops. I keep dropping this because my arms are extended a little bit to get under the camera, so it's not as I'm not as comfortable crocheting as what I normally would be because I'd have it quite a bit closer to me. So then I'm going to just drop this, slide that down a little bit because I don't like to carry. I could carry this a little bit longer, but we're going to do a chain 3 now because we're in our corner. And if I carry this, you're going to see it between this set of double crochets and the next set. So only do the first two and then drop it, and we'll hide it better later. We're going to now do 3 more double crochets. So we started with a chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. All right, so here was our chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 1. We're going to skip across to this next corner. We're going to do the same thing, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Slide that over a little bit, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that same corner, 3 more double crochets, 1 and 2 and 3. We finished our corner, we're going to chain 1. Into that next corner, we're going to do the same thing, 3 double crochets, 1, make sure there's slack coming out of your ball, and 2 and 3. Slide that over, 3 chains, 3 more double crochets, 1 and 2 and 3. We're finished our corner, we're going to chain 1. Into that last corner, we're going to do the same patterning. 3 double crochets, 1, slide it over, 2, oops, and 3, chain 3, and slide it over, 3 more, 1 and 2 and 3. Don't forget your chain 1. And into the top of that 3rd chain. So there we have our bar right here. That's the top of the double, that's this double crochet here. So we have to go to the right and pick up that 3rd chain. Slip stitch to join, yarn over, pull it through that loop, cut it off, pull it through, tighten that knot down with your thumbnail. Round 2 is completed. Now I want you to go ahead and hide your yarn tails just like we did with the green one. All right, that's done, and you can see how beautiful it is so far. We're going to then take our 3rd color, which is our red. We're going to, see, we've done green, white, now we're doing red. We're going to slip knot around our hook. We're going to pick any corner, doesn't matter. Go in from the top. That's the wrong side here. This is the right side. We're going to go in from the right side into the back. Grab that yarn, bring it underneath, then through the loop on your hook. That's a slip stitch to join. Chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Into that center, we're going to do 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. Chain 3. We have a little bit of a different thing on this particular row than we did on the previous row, and we'll get to that in just a second. We're going to do 3 more double crochets, 1 and 2 and 3. We've finished our corner, so we have to chain 1. If you say, did I chain 1? I can't remember if I did or if I didn't. Look on here, and if there's 2 bars that are showing, you haven't done your chain 1. Once you do your chain 1, it hides those 2 bars. So we've done our chain 1. Now we have this little space that's along the side between our corners. We're going to go into there and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Then we're taking our hook and sticking it in that next corner, doing 3 double crochets. 1. You can see how fast these are to work up. 2 and 3. Chain 3 and 3 more double crochets. Chain 1 into that side, along the side there, 3 double crochets. 1 and 2 and 3. We're finished our cluster, chain 1 into that next corner, 3 double crochets, slide them on over, chain 3, and 3 more double crochets all into that same corner. And then you know what we do next? Chain 1 into that next side space right there, 3 double crochets. We're finished that 3. We're going to chain 1 into our last corner, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Slide it over. If you need to see this slower again, click on the top right corner of your screen and a gear should come up and you can click on that gear and that will take you to an option there where you can slow the video down. I'm going to chain 1 into that last side stitch there, our space. We're going to do 3 double crochets. Chain 1 into that top of the chain 3. We can clearly see our bar there. That's the double crochet second one here. We're going to go into the stitch right before it, which is the 3rd chain. Pick up 2 bars if you can. There we go. Yarn over, bring it through, and bring it through. Yarn over, bring it through, cut off a tail, pull it through, pull that knot down with your thumb. Round 3 is done. You're going to turn it around, you're going to hide your ends, and you're going to meet me back. All right, so we have 3 rows done. We have 1 more to go, which is our green. So whatever the center one was, that's the one we're bringing back out. And we have our slip stitch on our hook. We're going to pick a corner and we're going to slip stitch to join, chain 3. I'm going to carry that, which I think I didn't do in the last round, but maybe I did. We're going to do 2 double crochets. And that chain 3 counts as the 3rd. We're going to drop that yarn tail there. We're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets. We have 2 spaces on the sides now that we have to deal with. Oops, there we go. So I finished my corner, I have to chain 1 into that first side space, because you see we have, here's our next corner over here, we have 2 now. We've chained our 1, we're going to go in, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 1 and go into the next one. Very simple. And chain 1 into our corner. We're going to follow our patterning, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. And push that over. I'll do 1 more side with you, then I will leave you to get to the end. And chain 1 into this first space. We're going to do 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Oops. Let's get you unsnagged. And then into that next space, 3 double crochets. Chain 1, and then our corner, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 1 before you move into the side, and finish that corner. Do the 2 sides, this corner, those 2 side stitches, and I'll meet you back. There we go. I have made it around. All I have to do is join to my chain 3, pull that out. I see that this is the top of my second double crochet, so I'm gonna go into that chain that's right before it, yarn over, pull through that, pull through the loop on my hook, yarn over, pull that through again, cut it off, pull it through, pull that knot down with my nail, and I'm going to hide my ends. Now that we have that done, we're going to grab 6 closable stitch markers. We're going to put some yarn on our needle, one that goes from one corner up to that corner, so that we'll do half of your square, one that's long enough for that. We're going to take these closable markers, and we're going to find the chain that's in the middle of the chain 3. Now, you don't have to use these if you don't want to either. I'm doing this for visual purposes for those who might need it. And then you're going to take it and you're going to put it in that center one. I'm not even going to close it. I'm just going to let it hang there. And bobby pins would just get in the way. And those are my favorite stitch markers. I use them on pretty much everything on my channel, as you know, if you follow me. But for a small project like this, these are better. Okay, so then you're going to go into that center one, and then one more. So do 3 corners on each square. One, finding that center chain of the chain 3. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, so if it's sitting like that, we've got our 2 on the side, the one at the top. We're going to, this is the right side of our work. We're going to put the right sides together. All right. So now I have them together. This is the wrong side of my work. You can easily see the difference. You can see the nice stitching on your edging there on the right side, and on the wrong side it's not. It also looks different. You can see, you should be able to tell the difference between the right side and the wrong side. So we have the right sides facing each other. They're together. We're going to take our needle. We are going to be working in the back loops only. Now on the chains, that's hard to understand what that is. Maybe you do need to do them up. But the back loop, at the top of our stitch, we have 2 bars there. The back loop is this back one, and the front loop is this front one. When we are working in the back loops, when these are right sides facing, on the piece, this one here that's closest to you, it will be the bar of that stitch that's closest to you. On the piece that's on the back side here, it'll be the one that's farthest from you. So that's how you can tell. And it just naturally kind of falls together. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into that center. We're going to, here's our stitch markers. There's our stitch markers here. We're going to start down on this edging down here, right at the very beginning. We're going to go into that center of that chain stitch that's right there, which is the second chain of that chain 3, and into the center of that one, we're going to pull through, leaving a bit of a tail. Now you can take these out. I just really did that for visual. You're going to take this and you're going to tie a knot. I'm going to just pop this in between here to get it out of the way. We'll hide our ends later, but otherwise your yarn tail is going to wrap around it. Then we have that 3rd chain. We're going to go into that one, and then the 3rd chain on the other piece, pull through. Now we are going to work into the back loop of this double crochet and this double crochet. It's so easy, friends. I'm going to zoom in on here because when you have these together, these loops are automatically, you can just see them. They're right there and there. You're going to go across. Then you're going to pull. You're going to go into that next one and that next one, and you're going to pull across. I don't want this so tight that this starts to compromise the look of it and that it gathers. You want it just to be nice and flush. You want to bring the 2 sides together, but don't over pull. Okay. Then we're going to do the next one. And the next. And the next, back loop, back loop. We're going to do this all the way around to the 3rd stitch marker. So this was the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And if you get a little bit off track here, like I'm looking, which one is that coming from? It's coming from this one, and it looks like it was the next one, but then you just move it up. And you'll be able to get back on track every time you get to the corner. If the stitch markers don't line up, then you've missed something. Or in the chain one spaces here between these clusters here, I call them clusters, between the two sets of double crochets. If you don't end up having those match, then you've gone off your row here a little bit, and then you can just bring it back in. If it's just slightly off, just go into there, line it up again, and keep going, and it will work out beautifully. But I'm going to just keep going, picking up that loop that's closest to me and then the one that's farthest to me, and those are the ones that are the most visible, so it's not hard. I'll take you to this chain, center chain here, and then set you free. So you can see that you can make these quite quickly, make a bunch for gifts or your craft sales or what have you. Here's the first one, and here's the first one. Then into my second one and my second one. I can go ahead and remove those stitch markers. I know I'm all lined up. There's my third one and my third one. I'm going to continue around to this corner, and then meet me back. I want to give you some little fun facts, or not fun facts, but yeah, fun facts. Some information. All right, continue down. I'll meet you in just a second. I made it around, and I'm going to knot it off. I knotted it once, but I'm going to knot it again. And then this is all curling around. I'm going to just cut it off and make it shorter and make it easier on myself. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hide this up the seam. Just go a little ways, pull through, and then go back down just a little ways. Pull through and cut off. Then we're going to take this tail here where we started. I had one knot, we're going to make one more. And we're going to hide it in the same way, just up the side. And then back down. I will put a link to these metal wool needles in the description box below, and you can find them there. All right, so we have that done. We are going to just turn it around and take a look. You see how you have nice edging because those front loops are prominent. They show through because we went into the back loops, and that gives it a nice edging. And there we go. Now a little fun fact. The first granny square ever recorded in a magazine was from a lady called Mrs. Phelps, and it was recorded on April 5th, 1885. And I can imagine that this is the kind of patterning that she would have done in the way of doing 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and then chain 1 before your sides here. If you go to YouTube or Google and you look up how to do basic granny square, you're going to have different variations. We have since changed it, and sometimes we only do 1 or 2 chains in the middle here, and many times you'll see that they don't do a chain here between your corner and your space right here. They just go straight in, and I would think that this would be the original way to do it, and so I'm happy to do it that way. And I think that way because there is a pattern coming shortly to my channel that I'm using this same technique, and I got it from a 50-year-old pattern, and I think that would probably be one of the first ways of doing it that there was. So have fun doing it, and you can choose whichever way you like, but this is how I prefer to do it. Now that this is the right side out, we're going to do our chain on the inside. What I want to do is, here's where our opening is. This is the top. We're going to come down to, here's our corner. This is the first section on the side from the top. We're going to take a stitch marker, and the reason why we're going to pop that in there is because, and right in the corner here, so here's the bottom, we're going to put it in the base here. Hopefully we'll see that from the other side, is because once it's reversed the other way, it's hard to exactly determine where that is for some reason. So we're going to pop a stitch marker just at the base of this first one after our corner. Then we're going to turn this inside out. There we go. We can see our stitch markers. We can see where we're at. And again, it's a good visual for you because now here's our corner right here. And here is the first one from that corner going down the sides. Again, you probably didn't need the stitch markers, but for those of you who are visual, I hope it helps. And we're going to put a slip knot on our crochet hook. Now this one I've got between the two side ones there. This one I just mistakenly put in the first one, but this is the actual right one. You're going to go into, don't go into this space here, go above into that first stitch right there, and just pick up the edging there. Don't even look for a double crochet top, like the top of the stitch of the double crochet. Just go into that space there. You're going to yarn over, bring it through, and bring it through the loop on your hook to slip stitch to join. Let's get this little tail out of the way. And there we go. So we've joined it here, and we're going to make it across to this first one right here. I can't tell you how many chains you're going to need because everybody crochets with a different tension, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to chain and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then I'm going to stop and measure. 15, that's way too much, so I'm going to take out 3. I should have stopped earlier. Doesn't matter, you don't even really have to count. You just want to make sure that this goes across. And you're not pulling. It comes across, and that's where it fits, okay? So if I get this out of the way, my chain, I think I did 12. My chain comes across, and it's not pulling like this, and it's not loose like this. It's just nice and flush with your project. And then you're going to go not into the space here, but right into the stitch right there, right into the side, and get a nice firm piece. And we're going to slip stitch to join, bringing it through. Then we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn this so it's away from you, and then it's easier. And then you're going to find the right side of your chains, and you're going to go into that first one, and you're going to do a single crochet. Then you're going to go into the next one. You have to flip it up a little bit if you have to. Go into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through both. That's a single crochet. We're going to do that into all the chains all the way down. And again, we might have a chain count it's varying. You might have 1 more, you might have 1 less, you might have 2 more, 2 less. All depends on your tension. And we're going to go all the way down. The thing that you have to just be aware of is that it's flush with your project, and it goes from one end to the other, just like I showed you. And into that next chain. Let's get some slack here. I've got 2 more chains there. And into that last one, single crochet. Then I'm going to go right into this side again. Just gonna go in, pick it up, because there is like a slip stitch to join there, but we're gonna just get this anchored right into where that knot is, just because I want a firm hold. And we're going to yarn over, bring it through. Oh, sorry. Let's do that again. Bring it through, and then bring it through the loop on your hook, yarn over. I'm having problems here, sorry. Got this all snagged. There we go. We're going to just put it into that space, that's same area that we started with, and we're going to slip stitch to join. Then I'm going to just chain 1, pull that through as though it's a chain 1, cut it off, and we've got our towel hanger piece done. It's beautiful. It's just like that. But now what we want to do is, maybe I shouldn't have cut that off quite so short, but what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your tails, and I want you to just sew this edge down of the row here. So just go down, pick it up, and fasten it, and make it more secure. Don't let it just hang on by those slip stitches. Get that out of the way. So I'm just going through that side stitch up into this piece here, right across, and I'm just going to fasten it a couple of times. Just to secure it. Then I can take these two, I can tie a knot, and then I'll hide my ends, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of yarn on to my needle, and I'm going to do the same thing to this one. See, this is just hanging on by a slip stitch there. So once that's folded down, make a stitch and seam this right across here, just to secure it and make it stronger. After doing that, I'm going to take my ends and I'm literally going to hide them into this strap rather than down the side, because it'll just give it that little extra strength that it needs. And come back. I'm going to do that with all 4 ends. All right, hide all your ends and then come back. Okay, my friends, we are almost done. It is still, we just have to make our hanging piece. It is still right sides together. This is the wrong side right here. We're going to take our towel. I get them at Costco. They're absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait. I'm going to give these away as gifts. And you pop it in there, and you don't want it to be the same width as your towel, because it's nice to have it gathered a bit in there, isn't it? And then we're going to make sure it's in half. And when it's in half on your little holder there that you made, you're going to then turn it the other way. Put your granny square right side out over the top of your towel. There we go. Oops, it's not quite in half, so I'll fix that. And now we're going to make the part that holds our piece onto our stove or our dishwasher handle or wherever you want it to hang. All right, taking our green yarn, I'm using the same color that's at the top here. I'm going to slip knot on my hook. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 4th one acts as our single crochet, because we're going to now go single crochet into that 3rd chain. And then into the next one. And the last one. There's our first row of single crochets. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and into that first single crochet there, we're going to do a single crochet. That's 1. Into the next stitch, that's 2. And the next one is 3. That's row 2. Chain 1, turn your work, and repeat that. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to go for 5 inches. So depending on your tension again, our rows may vary a little bit, but you don't even have to count rows. You're just going to go for 5 inches. And I'm going to keep going. See how easy this is. And into the 3rd one there. Chain 1, turn my work. And 3. Chain 1, turn my work. And you're going to keep doing that until you get 5 inches. Let me tell you where I'm at right now. My guess is 2. So you see how fast that is. 2.5, almost. Here's what I want. Once you make one, you can just hold it up and measure it, or you can count how many rows you do. I didn't count the rows on here. I went by measurements, and that's what I'm doing here too. Okay, and so I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to keep going, turning my work, doing 3 single crochets across until I get 5 inches, and then I will see you back. There we go. I'm at 5 inches. So I'm going to yarn over, cut it off, pull through. Next thing I'm going to do is hide my ends, and then I'll meet you back. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find our lovely magnets. I will link these in the description box below. One of the best things I've ever purchased off of Amazon. I've only used them a few times, but they're not expensive. You get a ton of them in this little case, and I've used them on a couple projects, and I just think they're invaluable for us crafters to have. So I'm going to take that side, and then we've got the other side, which is, they fit together. And then you need 2 of these. They're a little hard to close. If you have some pliers or something, then that will help you. But I just use my scissors, and I'll show you what I do. I don't wreck my scissors, don't worry. But this is the piece that goes in. So we're going to put that on, just going to follow suit here. This one's going to come on the underside, because I want this to close. When this closes like this, I want this to overlap like a bracelet like that. I don't want it to, I don't know how else it would be, but I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be over like that. And so now that I have one done, I will just follow the example. So I'm going to pop this one in so that this piece that has the one that goes on the inside is going to go on the edge of one of these ends here. Just pop that in. Take your silver piece, lay it over top. If you have very strong fingers, you could push these ends down, but I don't. So I'm going to take an old pair of scissors that aren't any good anyways, but I'm not using the blade anyways, and I'm just going to bend that over, or take it upstairs to my husband, but it's not that hard to do. I say that and then I struggle, but it's because I got to get the right handle on here, the right grip on there. There we go. Then it just pops down. It's really not that hard. You just got to get, in the right pressure spot. Push that down. And there we go. Then I'm going to pop that down on here, and I'm going to just lay this flat and close it like that. Okay, so now we have that side done. We're going to take our other side. So that's on this side. This other piece will go the opposite. So it's going to go on this opposite side. On the opposite side, but also on the opposite side going this way. This is on that side. This is on this side. And that's how you can figure it out. Pop that in there in between your little stitches. We're going to pop this little metal piece onto it, and we're going to do the same thing. Pop down our sides. See how much easier that was because I've now got a feel of it. There we go. I don't want to crack my tray, so I'm going to take it off the tray and then push it down. Bear with me. There we go. So I've got that pushed down. Now this one, these magnets are very strong, so they're going to hold, and there we go. All I got to do is pop it in the top through my corner, hang it on the stove, put that there. Make sure that's not up at the top. It's going to scratch your top of your stove, but you don't of your handle, but you also don't want to see it. So then once you have that done up, swing it to the back like that, and it'll sit like that. There you go, friends. Let me grab my other one here. Pop this in here. Once you start making these, you are going to whip them off so fast. It's not a long project, but oh, so beautiful. I can't wait to see yours. Please don't forget to post in my Facebook group. I want to see the ones you make, even if they're the same colors. If they're not the same colors and you're using just your favorite colors and your favorite tea towels, I want to see that too. So post it in my group. And if you post in other Facebook groups, always share the link. Always, 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 please share the link, and or share that you got them off the Koala Knits and Knacks site. Do not ever post my row counts, please, friends, not on any of my videos or any other YouTube makers' videos. I'll stand up for them and say the same thing. We rely on you watching our videos, because when we're monetized, and I'm going to explain it to you quickly, when we're monetized, we get revenue off the ads. It's a small amount, but it helps to pay for all these supplies that we do to bring you free patterns. So please don't skip over the ads and never post row counts. I just wish that I could get that into some people's heads, because so many people think that it's okay to post our row counts, and it's actually quite disrespectful. So please don't do that. Just share the link, and we would all appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining me, friends. Thank you for trusting me to bring you good patterns, and thank you for being a part of my community. I appreciate you all. Have a very blessed day.